tell us a little bit about yourself. I guess specifically, tell us a little bit about how you met Jesus is what I want to just ask.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, yeah, so I grew up nearby in Ditchling. My mum and dad weren't churchgoers, but I did go to a Church of England primary school, so I felt like I grew up, knowing God and believing in God. But then, of course, went to a secular secondary school and kind of totally drifted away. I thought God and church was pretty uncool and got into music and football and drinking and all the other things that people do as they progress, from teenage years into 20s and 30s. And you didn't really think any more about it. Went to people's weddings as friends and family, got married, but even then didn't really think anything about it. And then about 11 years ago, I started having these dreams about church. Sometimes it was church buildings, sometimes it was church services, and sometimes it was clergy members, the ones wearing the full frock.
The proper ones.
Not the trendy pastors like you and Jim.
Good recovery.
Yeah, so I started having these dreams. I thought, this is weird, but, I totally put it off. I thought, church is boring. I couldn't think of anything worse than getting up on a Sunday and going to church. So I completely put it off. But then I had to go to church at the end of 2019, around kind of autumn time, for our Harvest Festival service, because my daughter had just joined the Rainbows, and the Rainbows met in the nearby United Reformed Church. So we had to go and see her carry a flag, she was very excited about. Me and my wife weren't excited at all about, because we thought, oh no, we have to get up early, go to church, dress up smart. So we weren't looking forward to it. But I walked in and I kind of felt this sense of peace. And then I heard the gospel message, and I thought, oh, this is familiar. This is like being at school. And then I enjoyed the singing so much so I said to my wife, I think I might go back. Try it again. So in the new year, went back to the United Reformed Church, and then kind of realized it wasn't right, the kind of right church for me. The average age was about 75, and I felt a bit out of place. So I thought I'll try another church, and found this Anglican church in a nearby village, and that was a bit more kind of family orientated, a lot more friendly, and kind of got invited to a men's breakfast, but then got invited to an Alpha course. I didn't know anything about Alpha, but it was exactly what I was looking for, an introduction to the Christian faith. And I just, by attending that, got to know Jesus, and, I realized that he wasn't just this figure from the past who had died. He was a living God, and it was incredible. So actually, I think some of you are probably sat on chairs with Alpha flyers. So if you've never been to Alpha, I really recommend that you try it. Speak to Kieran at the end, or speak to Tim or to Jim about it. It's an amazing course. It totally changed my life.